Okay, recording this video after close of trade Thursday the 11th of November 2010, and frankly I don't think we got any clearer information today about which way the market is going to break. The bond market was closed today, so it was relatively quiet, fairly light in terms of volume. We did kind of gap down after the Cisco news overnight and then kind of rallied back in the afternoon. In terms of average trade size, this was kind of an amateur up bar, which is not usually a good kind of sign, but as I said, that's the bond market was shut. Maybe a lot of professionals kind of away today. The average trade size was very low, and if this was kind of professional activity kind of exiting on the new highs at 1220, then on this down bar they were maybe acquiring. So in terms of average trade size, we've not got a clear picture of which way this is going to break. In terms of the 40,500 tip bar chart, kind of hit this support level after having exhaustion selling a couple of days ago. So we put in our bullish divergence yesterday, and then today, Thursday, we had another one down here, kind of double bottom type pattern there, and we kind of rallied into the afternoon. But no professional bars during the last couple of days, so they're not kind of giving us a clue as to where they are. The last kind of whole series that we saw were taking profits up at 1220, and then a couple here. So no more information there. If I look at, and you can see we're kind of forming this kind of wedge pattern on top of kind of critical support. This 12.2 level that we've hit twice in the last couple of days is really critical. So if we drop below that, we're going to be falling into a downtrend. If I go one time frame down to the 13,500 tip bar chart, can we see kind of more professional activity to give us clues over the last couple of days? Frankly, if they were really acquiring at the lows, we'd be seeing kind of the blue bars down here at 1202, and then going back down at 1202, a lot of blue bars on the downside. If I kind of look at this chart, there's kind of blue bars kind of really buying this breakout. Certainly yesterday and today they bought the breakout and then kind of came in later. So if anything, there's kind of blue professional bars at the end of the days. Last couple of days, here's a exhaustion kind of selling on the downside. Little kind of a double bottom type pattern today with flush signals flushing out the sellers at that point. So presumably the sellers have all sold at this point, and we should be kind of rallying. But we've got to break through this cyclical support here, and it doesn't look, anyway, as I say, no kind of clues really either way. And then just coming down to the 4,500 tip bar chart, using this for kind of trend direction during the day. This was the Cisco kind of news overnight, and we kind of sold off. Happened to coincide with an end of trend warning signal on this time frame, but to be honest, I wasn't kind of taking very much attention from that. But it's just interesting that it was end of trend warning signal. Came on, kind of sold into lows, kind of didn't get our exhaustion selling until we kind of tested this 1202, 1204 level again down here, bullish divergence, and then we kind of broke into a pattern here. I'm just going to tag on a little bit of a video here where I kind of made a reversal trade, which was kind of initially short at 1207 and a quarter, and then kind of reversed and went long at 1206 and a half, and got out at 10 and a half, kind of up here. The market continued rallying, but took 4 points on my profit target, and also was going out for dinner. So anyway, there we go. I'll tack on the videos, but in terms of direction, I think we could kind of break either way, so I'm not going to be kind of making any calls. Hope your trading's going well. Okay, we just went short at 1207 and a quarter, and hoping for kind of a break into a bit of a downtrend here. We're sitting at a cyclical support level on the 500 tip bar chart. We've had our exhaustion buying on the upside here up at 1208, 1209, and we've had it on the 1500 tip bar chart. You can see this here. We pushed past an end of trend warning signal, and then we kind of popped up with some more kind of professional selling up at 1209, and we were into a cyclical turning point on the 4500 tip bar chart. I think today's just going to be kind of batting backwards and forwards between kind of cyclical turning points on the 4500 tip bar chart. So it's not it's going to be big kind of trending moves today. But anyway, so a little bit of losing steam. This kind of push back up here at 1208 and a half. was being led by the amateurs here. You can see it best with this amateur up bar on the 1500 tip bar chart, and then kind of a break of the low of that amateur bar, which is just about to happen at 12:07. Hopefully, kind of signals kind of a change. Okay, a little bit of an update on this trade, and wow. Roller coaster markets, and this is when sometimes I get myself into trouble and sometimes I get very lucky. So we had this trade short 725, broke above cyclical support here, and we had a really nice runner. This is running down to my profit target down at 3.25. 3.25 was a nice kind of number because 1202 was the low for the day, and we had professional buying kind of coming in there. 1203 would be a logical place, or 1204 would be another logical place where the professionals would kind of step in and buy the market if we were bottoming and going to start to rally. As soon as we came into 1204, had this funny pattern here. We had a bit of professional activity on the 1500 tip bar chart, but the next two, just TradeStation sending me notes, the next two bars were professional up bars. Unusual here if this is going to be a low. What we'd expect is the market, the professionals to be buying on down bars, not on these up bars. So that kind of made me feel good that this rally, this decline was likely to keep going, and we'd seen it in terms of the move down. Whoops. What am I doing? Okay, so apologies about that, just messed up my charts. Wanted to get them right, so I'm talking them correctly. Anyway, on these kind of little rallies that we saw, kind of counter trend moves on the 500 tip bar chart as we were kind of heading down, the activity was kind of looking right. This first one you can see here, this being led by the amateurs and then declined, so that kind of suggests the downtrend is still in place. The next one here, we had a little bit of a professional up bar. First of all, the amateurs kind of rally up a little bit, and then we get a professional up bar at the highs here, and then we can continue to decline. That pattern's right for a downtrend. It means the professionals are kind of getting in to go short. So the professionals are active on little up bars. They're selling those up bars, and so when we get a little bit of a move like this, which is this move here, this kind of counter trend move, professionals on the up bars, and then continue to make new lows. That's great because that kind of says the downtrend's in. Then we just hit this little point here, down here. No really noticeable cyclical turn in terms of any other time frames and so on. And all of a sudden we just started to rocket back up to my entry at 7.5. We went up to 8. So me, stubborn that I am, just decided not to do anything and just see where this went. And we hit that 1208 mark and then rocketed back down. You can see this move is being led by the amateurs on this. So that was why I thought it was kind of a suspect move, kind of a counter trend rally at that point there. But I did not expect it to go 3.5 points in the course of a few minutes. And then subsequently the decline has been pretty extreme, so that's kind of nice. So we're back where we started, down at these kind of 1203, 12 or 1204 kind of lows. So the question is now, is this going to hold? I mean, what this suggests to me is that we really have a downtrend in place. We have seen some exhaustion selling on the downside on the 500 tip bar chart, and so we're just bouncing a little bit off that because we kind of run out of steam kind of temporarily. We're coming up to a cyclical turn on the 1500 tip bar chart, but no professionals active yet on this on the lows here, so the professionals aren't kind of stepping in. So I think we're going to crack 1204 and kind of continue down. So the target at 3.25 is still good. 1202 is significant level. It's been the bottom yesterday, it's been the bottom so far today. So I'm not going to be kind of crazy and try and play against that. There'll be buyers that come in at 1202, but I am going to hold at least at 1203. So let's see where this goes. Okay, now a few minutes later, and this is why this job, if you can call it that, is hard. We tested back up to 1207 again, but this time around, well, exactly the same kind of pattern, same time around, kind of being led by the professionals up here. So this kind of rally here, professionals kind of stepping in, and then right at the highs back at 1207, amateur bars, Rambo pattern and so on, and then we kind of slink off kind of down to the lows again. Now this is getting a little bit tricky. My data is starting to burst a little bit on TradeStation, which shows that the the activity levels are going up, the pros are getting interested. Now, this is a critical level. We're kind of coming back to 1204, and things are just not looking right for the bulls. This 1204 levels, if it's going to break, we're going to head back down to 1202, and I think we're going to go through 1202. And so that's why the activity levels are kind of coming back up. I'm pulling in the stop to 1208 and a quarter, so just risking a point on this trade, and I'm just moving the profit target to 1225, 1200 and a quarter, just above that kind of critical level. So bit of a gamble here. I mean, we've got professional bars kind of coming here in at the lows, but we're on a ledge sitting here at 1204, and as we're kind of, these levels are kind of starting to burst again, I wonder if we're going to start to dive. So who knows? Let's wait and see. Okay, we just reversed and went long at 6.5. So the dynamics started to change on this last move, and the last video I was recording was talking about this 1204 level, and as I was recording this, saying 1204 level, we need to break this, and we're on a ledge and we could go into downtrend and so on. But the characteristics kind of changed. We started to see professional bars on these down bars going low. We had kind of bullish divergence signal, nice little flush signal down here at 1204. And then we started to test back up to the 1207 kind of level again. Up here, got up to 1207.5. And on this last kind of retrace back down, we've had professional blue bar kind of come in here on the 500 tip bar chart, 15, and the 4500 tip bar chart. Another flush signal here. And so that 1204 level, what that kind of shows me is that activity is showing me the 1204 level is going to hold. And we're not going to kind of break into a downtrend. In fact, we're going to reverse and go the other way. So we kind of go through these. I mean, it changed character as we were moving through here. First, the first kind of, as I was saying, as we were kind of moving down, we were seeing all the professional bars on the high bars, and we kind of kept on. But as soon as that 1204 level was kind of tested again, the activity changed, and we were seeing professional bars on the down bars, and so that was showing that they're kind of accumulating and getting into positions. That's my theory, at least. Anyway, so what we need now is to break back above 1207.5. It would have been nice to have got out with a little bit more on that short trade. It was in at 7.25 and took quite a lot of backwards and forwards activity. It was up 3 points at one stage. I suppose greed kind of kicks in, and it would have been nice to either have got a better entry and got out at 4 points, or just taken profits. But that's where it goes anyway. So we made 3/4 of a point and kind of reversed, and let's see where this next trade goes. Okay, we're just out at 10.5 for the profit target, so that's 4 points on that trade. Must admit it was kind of hard work and took a lot of time. We after we kind of reversed and went long at 6.5, we did kind of retrace back. We kind of came up to the previous high about I think it was about 1208, something like that, and then we kind of retraced all the way back, almost just past the entry point actually, to 6.25, kind of back here. But the reason for that, on that retrace though, there was quite a lot of professional down bars. You can see here on the 1500 tip bar chart, professional down bar, another one, and then a little Rambo pattern just as we came into cyclical support here. So that was a previous high for the morning up at 9.5. So getting past there was pretty important, and we needed a couple of goes to get there. So we finally did, kind of broke up here. The reason, I mean, it'd be nice to hold a little longer. I'm actually going out for dinner, but anyway, it has reached the profit target, and we've got all these professional blue bars kind of coming in here, a cyclical turning point kind of coming up as well, plus exhaustion buying on the upside. So it's a decent place to get out, particularly because we've kind of been through this kind of volatility in the meantime. So it's nice to have held a winner through all of that and have confidence that this was going to break into an uptrend. We had our exhaustion selling in the morning on the 4500 tip bar chart, and our bullish divergence signal after this, and that kind of signaled that we were likely to get a move to the upside. So not sure how far this is going to go, but we're out.